Okay, this is my tutorial of the Castle Link tuning process. This is RC Beyond checking in, giving y'all just a little bit behind the scenes. Alright, here we go. This is the throttle curve. That's the throttle curve. This is how the car gains speed. Okay, this is the brake curve. It's the same thing. It's how the car brakes when it's slowing down. This is the software. That's for printing. All right, let's get into it. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go over this in the basic way I can explain this, or how I understand. This is one of my cars. So, all right. So these little cautions right here means things. For tuning, people need to understand what they are. So if you see the basics, like this right here is the auto LiPo voltage cell. So this right here is where it starts shutting down or whatever. This right here is the cutoff voltage, right? So mine's on auto, so it does when the computer whatever lets it get a certain voltage, it starts shutting down. This right here is the BEC voltage right here. This is for like when your servo says this is how many volts the servo is in the storage. Okay. It goes all the way up. Now, you have to remember, the more you turn up, the more the ESC works harder. You want the ESC to not work as hard as it should on all other stuff. You want it to work hard as it can on the car going fast. Right? So this is the brake amount. This is the drag brake. This is the drag brake ramp up. Okay. So I always have brake. I always use drag brake. And I like to I'm opening it up a little bit. See, I didn't know I can do that. So that's kind of funny. All right. So I always use that because that makes the car slows down perfectly. It makes it not work as hard. All right, let's go to the power. Start power. This right here means how the car starts off. And it has 3 different things: high, low, medium, right? But then up here, it tells you something else. These right here is the different settings and what they mean. People need to read these when they're doing this stuff. They need to understand what they are. All right, the max power, punch control. Punch control is, it can mean a few things, and it does a few things. It explains it. Well, let me see. It is how the car responds on taking off. I guess that's the best way I can put it. It responds the best way it takes off. So you have a bunch of settings in here. People need to understand how they go. So this right here is the torque limiter. The torque limiter is, it's a governor. It's a governor on the motor. That's in layman's terms. So the lower the number, has less torque. Has less torque control. The higher the number, no, the lower the number has more torque control. So that means it leaves it. How can I explain this? All right. Well, it's saying right here, lower volume due to more torque limiter. All right. So lower the number, it controls more torque. Higher the number means less control of the torque. Okay. So now we're going to move on. This right here is really not anything right here. You know, this is how it binds. This is about the wiring, what wires you have hooked up, the data logging, if you got it on your phone or whatever. This right here is the arming time. This right here, it's for how fast it arms to the car. All right, everybody knows what this is right here. This right here is the motor direction, type of motor, what's hooked up. This right here is the motor timing. This is just like on a distributor of a real car. So this is advanced timing on the distributor. That's me putting it in layman's terms. So you can turn this this goes all the way up. I think it goes up to like 20 something if I'm not mistaken. So you can advance the timing on the motor however you want to do it. But that is right. Then you have timing boost amount. Yes. Right. So this is another setting if you're running a sensor system, and it will actually activate timing boost, so it can get out maybe 60 foot, and wherever you set the timing boost in, it will actually kick in and give the car like nitrous or whatever you want to call it to make it sound sweet at all. But it does, when it get to a certain feet, it will kick in. Right? This right here makes the car turn off. Now, when you hook this up, when you plug this up on your smart system or the sensor wire control, it cuts this off. It cuts the motor timing off, because this is the motor timing now. So this right here controls what this right here does. So it like swap one for another. All right. Now, let's go in here and let's look at this part right here. All right, this is the data log. Oh boy. All right. This first screen is kind of crazy looking. But all this right here, oh, I'm sorry. It's early in the morning. All right. All right. So, all these right here mean stuff. These is all the settings that you did on all the previous screens. And this is how they plan off as the car goes. Voltage, ripple, current, horsepower, temperature, the RPMs, throttle, output, and so on and so on. Y'all see the screen. Okay. Now, I am a big fan of running no ripple effect, no cat packs. I'm a real big fan of not having those. I try to govern the car without them. So now, these are the settings. This is the horsepower, and this is the current right here. This right here is the current of the amps of the current of your ESC pulling on, is drawing on at its peak. All right. This right here is the horsepower, and this is the RPM. This right here is what I care about the most, and that right there is what I care about the most. This right here is just, it's just like to tell people, yeah, that is kicking out like 14 horses or 16 horses. Yeah, that's all awesome to say what the car is doing. But this and this is what I care about. Those two things. All right. This right here will help you not blow your ESC up. I used to blow ESCs, like 4 and 5 of them every year. Literally, like I used to actually burn them up because I really didn't know how to tune. And I used to hot lap it, and I used to beat the crap out of it. Like, if you ask me to race, I'm going to race. I really didn't. My goal is to make sure that I want to say I have the fastest car, and I'm racing any car. I don't care what it is. If anybody know me, they know that's how I run. So, and losing that's part of the game, but I won't lose for too much. Like, I be on top and I lose. I be on top and I lose. It is what it is. That's the name of the game. But as I keep racing and I keep getting better, it's always gonna be wins from therefore on. You know, I'm not gonna say I have the fastest car, but I want to say I have the most consistent car. But this right here is the main thing that I really care about. So this right here is how this has what the battery is. So all right. So I need for y'all to see this. Okay. So this is what that ripple effect means. I was talking to Castle when I kept blowing up ESCs, and I had to ask them what was I doing wrong to make this happen. And one of the tech guys actually explained it to me. And from therefore on, I have not blown an ESC since. All right. So if you are running, these are 3S batteries. So if you're running 6S, you have to add these together. So it'll be 22.2. You're going to move that decimal point over 1. So it'll be 2.22. Right? So this right here, if you're running 6S, it should not exceed more than 2.22. That should be the highest ripple effect of this car running full blast all the way through however feet you're running. It should stay under that. And what people do is they say, oh, I want to turn the car up. I want to turn the car up. I want to turn the car up. So they throw a cat pack on there to lower this, and to make that number drop so they can keep throwing more power to it. Okay, that's fine and dandy. That is their option. That's their car. Okay. If I'm going to do that, that means every time I put this car on the line and I'm running it on a ragged edge like that, I'm not going to run that car that often. Because that means something. I have something to prove now that this car has to be is at a value of bet racing only. This car don't run for free. It's not gonna go down. It's not gonna go down the road. Not even on the test pit for free. When I test, you won't see it. And I test even when I'm racing all the time. I'm doing all types of adjustments every time I run, because that's what real racers do. When a real when he makes that first pass, he goes down the line, he goes back and he checks the data of that car, and he makes changes every time. I don't care if this car is running consistent all the time. I'm going to do that because everybody else is getting faster. Everybody else is still learning. And I have to stay. If I want to compete and be the fastest, I have to do that too. I know it's hard to do when you have a real good, consistent car running. People don't like to make changes. That's awesome. But you're only going to win for so long. And if you don't do a lot of wins, if you don't do a lot of racing, then you can't really say you're the fastest. You only can say, I am the fastest in a tournament or whatever. But racing is racing across the board. That's what it is. All right. This is the horsepower, and that's the best way I can explain the Castle Link, and I hope you like the video. And I'm about to exit out. Right. That is just a little bit of information that for the people that don't know or the people that do know, this is just a little breakdown of it in my lamest terms. And I'm clear that. Right. So even though I let you see it, it doesn't matter to me, because like I said, every time I make a run with it, I do more changes. So that was the change for the last time I ran. RC Beyond, checking out. Peace.